All right. Hey, welcome to the Ecology Unit 1 study guide. So, we are going to be looking at the answers over the study guide, talking about all those real quick. So, all right, let's take a look in our book. So, you got pages 4 through around page 60. So, you can look over those tonight. Remember, when you are doing the study guide, when you were going over it, you are allowed to use a 3x5 inch index card. So you can write anything you want on those out of the study guide. All right, let's look at a couple things. Why is decomposition important to life processes? Decomposition returns nutrients such as carbon, nitrogen, and water back into the ecosystem. Think of it as a recycling process. A producer. Producers are organisms that create their own food through photosynthesis. These are like plants, trees, seaweed, etc. Producers are the start of the food web. They put matter and energy into the ecosystem. A consumer. So a consumer has to eat its food, just like us. We're animals. We're consumers. We have to eat our food. Our bodies don't make our own food. So we do a couple different things. Consumers, we help control populations, and we are able to transfer energy and matter between the levels of the food web or energy pyramid. A decomposer is like a recycler. So they break down dead material and return to those natural cycles. Usually these are things like bacteria, vultures, fungi. So as I said, remember they're kind of like recyclers. So why are producers necessary? Well, because they're part of a healthy ecosystem. So producers take in energy from sunlight and matter from the surrounding environment and move it on to that next level of the food chain or food web. They're able to get energy from sunlight, bring that matter around it. Their bodies create their own food through photosynthesis, and then a consumer is able to go and eat that producer to get its energy. So producers are also part of the carbon, water, and nitrogen cycle. So matter and energy enter ecosystems through photosynthesis. So it's pretty simple. Plants take in that energy from sunlight, matter from the environment, and they use it to make food for their own bodies. What happens when predators are removed from an ecosystem? So right here we got the lion and that cheetah or leopard there. So when we remove them, the populations of the prey is going to increase. So you're going to see how, for instance, with the lion, the giraffe, and the rhino, their populations are going to increase, but then the tree, that's part of that ecosystem there, that tree's population is going to decrease. So that's something to remember. What role does a consumer play? So consumers, we move matter and energy between the levels of the food web / energy pyramid. You have grass as a producer, then that primary consumer, that deer, is going to come and eat that grass. So that deer is then transferring energy from the grass to itself. And then if a wolf or coyote will come along and eat that deer, so that deer has moved that energy from the grass to that next level. Consumers also help control populations and ecosystems. Carbon cycle. So carbon cycle, we got to remember a couple aspects of it. So when you're looking at that picture, you see that cat or dog right there. I can't quite tell what it is. It's some sort of organism that is going through cellular respiration or just respiration. It's moving carbon out of its body out in the air. You go to the top of the screen there, you got the tree, that apple tree. So it's going through photosynthesis. It's pulling carbon out of the air. And then on the bottom of the screen, you got those rotting apples. They're going through decomposition. So it's putting carbon back into the soil or even back into the air. So carbon in the oceans, you're going to have an essay question about this. So burning, combustion, puts fossil fuels back in the air. The oceans absorb carbon from the air for various natural processes. More fossil fuels being burned. It means that more carbon is being put in the oceans that can be processed at a safer natural rate. So when we pull oil out of the ground, that's a fossil fuel, and we turn that into gasoline, put it in our cars, and we burn it. Our cars are putting out carbon dioxide out in the atmosphere. The ocean works kind of like a sponge. It soaks up a lot of that carbon and uses it for the various processes that it does. But it can only process it at such a certain rate, and we're putting way more carbon out there than that ocean can safely absorb. So we're actually turning the oceans acidic, which means oceans are not going to be able to support the wildlife that they have. So it's a very dangerous thing that we're doing. So we need to learn to control that. How do humans benefit from photosynthesis? Our bodies can't create our own food, so we have to eat producers. So if you're one of those weird people who likes to eat salad, more power to you. That's great. Uh, but we're getting the energy from photosynthesis by eating those things. If you're like me and like to eat cheeseburgers, so that cheeseburger comes from a cow. The cow is what's eating the grass. The grass is what's photosynthesizing. So we either eat the things that photosynthesize, or we eat the things that eat the things that photosynthesize. So energy pyramids. So when you're looking at this lovely energy pyramid, first big thing is remember only 10% of energy makes it to that next level. So you have 10,000 joules of energy at the bottom, where you have those primary producers. You move up to where you got the snail and the little minnow and stuff. They're only going to get 1,000 joules of energy. Moving up to the small fish, you get 100 joules of energy. The large fish is going to get 10 joules, and then that hawk is only going to get 1 joule. Big thing you remember, 10% goes to that next level. You can see going up, all you have to do is take away 1 0. You don't even have to do any math. You don't need a calculator. Just take away 1 0 if you're dividing by 10. Very simple. So don't get distracted by the term joule. That's a unit of measurement of energy. We don't really talk about it this year. You'll learn about it next year in 8th grade science. It's just a unit, just like kilometer or liter or millimeter, anything. So, all right. So make sure to review your study guide. Fill out that index card. Email me if you have any questions. I'll try to respond. But I feel confident you all will do awesome. So thank you.